In the fall of 1999, I had a significant wilderness experience in my own life. Due to some selfishness in my life and some sinful choices, I had almost irreparably done damage to my ministry and my marriage. I resigned my church and moved my young family to the Pacific Northwest, where a little church took my family and I in and gave us a place to live and paid for some counseling for my wife and I, and gave me my first post-ministry job, which was to tear down a condemned house next door to the church. They were going to turn it into a parking lot. Now, as I understand it, a cat lady had lived in that house with about 18 cats, and she eventually had to be put into assisted living, but they bought the place, and they gave me the job for $10 an hour to tear down that old house. And so I did. And as I tore that house down, I thought, what an appropriate metaphor of my life. I had spent so many years validating my existence as a pastor, as a performer, as a person of trustworthiness, of a person of integrity, and all of that was gone now, and I was as condemned and as abandoned as any man could be. Well, I'd taken down the porch, and I'd taken down some of the load-bearing walls on the inside of the house. Now it was time to go after the bathroom. So I went in, and I took the vanity out, I took the sink out, and I decided to leave the tub for last, so the next thing on the list was to go after the toilet. I unbolted the upper tank and took it out and put it on my truck to be hauled off to the dump. And now I'm going to go after this bowl. And so I unbolted the bolts that hold it down to the floor. I undid the piping back behind, and I jiggled it and it wouldn't budge. And I jiggled it some more and it wouldn't budge. And I was starting to get a little bit frustrated. And so I wrapped my arms all the way around this bowl, almost with my head inside. And I've pulled with all my might. My veins swelling on the side of my neck. I could feel my brow furrowed, and I thought, how many times has that cat lady sat right here? And I got so disgusted, I let go, and I leaned back against the tub, and I started to weep. How did I get here? Just 2 months before that, I had been on the board of trustees of Lifeway Christian Resources. I'd been the former president of the convention of my denomination in my state. I was respected. I was thought of as to be successful. And now I'm sitting on the floor of this condemned cat lady's house, and I can't get the toilet to let loose of the floor. And I begin to cry out, God, where are you? And louder than an audible voice, I heard God say, you are with me, and we're going to be just fine. My chest began to heave with sobs of pain and joy. God was with me on that bathroom floor. Emmanuel. Well, I got up, kind of cleaned myself off, went over to the house where my wife was preparing lunch for both of us. I kissed her on the cheek. And then I went back and I took a sledgehammer to that toilet bowl. Jesus was with me on that nasty bathroom floor. And I don't know what you're going through right now, but I promise you, He's with you. It may not feel like it. It may not look like it. But He's with you. So may you meet Him in your wilderness when you feel the most alone, dirty, and nasty. And allow Him to bring you home to God. After all, He's been in the wilderness too. For you and me.